Okay?
Yes, sir. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Om Swastiastu, Salam Namo Buddhaya, and Salam Kebajikan. The Honorable, the examiners, Mr. Ganesha Harimukti SSM Hung. My name is Nuril Jannah. My ID number 2001101011105. And thank you for opportunity to present my proposal research with the title The Adaptation of Homosexual Issue in the Novel into Film. And to begin my presentations, let's go to the first chapter from background of study. It or Pennyworth's story, it's like a explore about teens friendship, childhood, and past trauma through the character's journey. We can feel, grow, and how they face their fear, and then both supernatural or personal is it like McFoy 2020, and in its novel it certain the particular chemistry between Richie and Eddie. Richie and Eddie is supporting character, not the main character, and the chemistry between them is like a who like whom, and whether anyone act on it, it's never explicitly confirmed. However, by the time passed, the narrative appear more clear. On the other hand, the movie version, it's take a different approach that Richie's background start from that he is gay and specifically in love with Eddie. Harder 2022, and the definition of homosexuality can vary depending on the context and may be viewed by a different perspective. The founder of psychoanalysis suggests that homosexuality is result from distinct psychosexual development during childhood. By Freud, 1856, homosexuality has been long a contentious issue in literature. LGBT community, especially gay, are often subject to negative stigma, such as being labeled as abnormal, disease, social deviant, or sinful by Giddings 2006. And this is my research question. First, how is the issue of homosexuality transformed in the adaptation of it from novel into film? And second, what are the underlying motives behind the adaptation of it in the novel and it in the film? And the goal of the study to understand the transformation of the issue of homosexuality from the novel, and seeks to explore the motive behind the creation of the adaptation from novel to film. And this is the previous study. The first from Soleha 2018, second study from Tasnim 2017, and the last from Maldini and Mustafa 2023. And this is the relevant theory that I use in this research. First, Hudson adaptation creates a space for variation, reinterpretation, and reflection upon the source material, enriching our understanding of both the original and its adaptation. And I use the supporting theory, Barthes 1957, which operates as a unique system built upon an existing semiological chain, also known as a secondary semiological system. And the supporting theory, it's view for complete set of signs representing the final stage of the first semiological chain in Barthes' book 1957 in page 130. And the type is qualitative, and the data of course from novel Stephen King in 1819.
Right.
Welcome, sir.
Sorry, a little bit late.
It's
Okay,
okay,
sir.
Masako.
Okay, just
The
continue, right?
Okay, thank you. The Data from novel by Stephen King in 1986, and second, the movie Chapter 1 in 2017, and the last is Chapter 2 in 2019. Data analyze and processing. The researcher classified the primary source, which is the text in the novel, to gather information related to the topic under investigations. I think that's for my presentation. Thank you so much for your attention. I think we can discuss now. Thank you, sir.
Okay, you may be seated. Maybe you need to review a little bit about the research problem. Go back to the research problem.
Problem. Which, oh, this, sir?
Okay, in this one, and then because Paco should, I do believe that I need to know the research problem first.
So, will I the first turn for
Yeah,
asking
the questions.
several not interesting things?
Not
Well,
interesting,
so
okay.
first of all, well, I just ask your apology for coming late, yeah, because I've just woken up, you know, I woke at 6 o'clock more. Okay, right. Well, I hope that the proposal of this research will be interesting study, you know, I hope, right? Yeah. And the title here, The Adaptation of Homosexual Issue and the Eighth Novel into Film. Right? So there is phenomena of adaptation, right, from the narration, the novel, to the visual expression, yeah, of the film, right? Okay. Now, the thing that I would like to ask you for the first time, why you think that it is interesting study for you, right?
Okay, thank you, sir. This is starting from phenomena that I read and starting the survey conducted by Pew Research Center in 2019, which showed that the majority of Indonesians do not accept homosexuality. Despite increasing tolerance among urban youth, I become interested in researching how the issue of homosexuality is portrayed in literary works. And additionally, recently in Indonesia, there has been growing discussion about lavender marriage. Do you ever heard that,
Right,
sir?
right.
Lavender marriage, yeah. Because that things, I think it's really interesting to search about in literature how the maybe lavender marriage represent, or yeah, the homosexual being represent in this. As famous example of a lavender marriage is between actress Katharine Hepburn and producer Howard Hughes. Lavender marriage refers to a marriage entered into by individuals, usual celebrity or public figure, to conceal their sexual orientation. In such marriage, one or both partner are actually LGBT but choose to marry in order to maintain their public image. I think that is the reason I chose this
Oh,
topic, sir.
yeah, that's the substance, I think, yeah, the substance of the issue, right, the substance of the issue. Uh, my, my question is that, actually, why you think that it is interesting to study this phenomena of adaptation, right, from novel to film? This is the thing that I would like to ask you, right? Why you think that? Okay, the issue is interesting. It is about homosexuality, right? And the thing, yeah, that is more, interesting and more important for us today is that, in the case of your study, right? Yeah. So, why you think that taking a theme, taking an issue about the adaptation of homosexual issue here, yeah, transformed into the film. You think it's interesting, right?
Okay, thank you. My thesis title is The Adaptation of Homosexual Issue in the 8th Novel into Film refers to the process of analyzing how the theme of homosexuality, which is subtly present in Stephen King novel 8, is transformed and represented in its film adaptation, specifically examine how the issue appear in both the novel and the film, and focusing on the difference in portrayal as well the impact of the adaptation process to represent of this theme by using Linda Hudson adaptation theory. It's like a change medium influence the way homosexuality is depicted and what is revealed about both the original text and the film terms of cultural context and audience perspective. And this is the title already represent the overall scopes of my research as it aligned with the issue method and theory I use in this thesis, sir.
Right. Yes. And then, based on the title, then you floor into the question, research question, right? How is the issue of homosexuality transformed
Yes.
in the adaptation of 8 from novel to film? From novel to film. I think it is related to the creative process in a way.
Yes, sir.
Creative process from writing form to the visual form, right? Okay, now, well, what make you interesting? What make you interesting to portray it, yeah? That phenomena, the transformation from textual evidence to the visual evidence. What make you?
What make interesting? It's like in the novel, it's no homosexual issue appear,
Yes,
but in
yes.
the movie,
Yeah,
it's like the richest background built that the fact that he is gay and in love with Eddie. Eddie and Richie is the supporting character that maybe person not pay much attention to them. So just
Yeah,
supporting character, but
yeah, right. So, in the case of creative process, in a way,
Yes,
from the visual or from textual, textual evidence to the visual evidence. Of course, there are several changes, several difference of appearance, maybe, right? That it can be flawed, and the textual form as white as possible, as clear as possible, as deep as possible, because it depends on how wide we write down or how wide our exploration could be flawed in the textual form. Because it will invite the reader imagination, right? So, well, the opportunity for widening explorations of the ideas, of the issue, of the novel, maybe it is much possible, right? But sometimes, based on the limitation of the instruments and creating the film, maybe several things could not be visualized,
yes,
right? Yeah.
yes, sir.
So there is creative process, right? Yeah. There is creative process. Okay. Okay, and you would like to talk about that because the focus of your study is adaptation. Study of that. So the adaptation, of a creation, from textual writing form to the visual form, right? And you would like to prove it. Of course, you must do kind of comparative study.
Yes, sir.
Several things in the novel
And several
how
things.
could be presented in visual form, right?
Yes, sir.
Will you do that?
Sorry, sir.
Will you do that? I mean the comparative study.
Yeah, of course,
Yeah.
comparison.
So several items in the novel like this, but yeah, it will be visualized like this. Right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. That's actually my questions. Yeah. Why you think it is interesting for you, right? Yeah. The changes, of course, need creative writing, creative thinking, yeah, and also what deep appreciation. Yeah. So the issue, yeah, written and the issue visualized will never be reduced, yeah, because of the deep creative
Creative
thinking
thinking.
and also deep creative
Decision.
creating, right? Yeah, like that. Okay, right. Because your question here is how is the issue of homosexuality? So several issues of homosexuality in the novel, yeah, and then it is transformed, in the form of visual casing, right? Yeah. Of course, it is interesting because sometimes the thing that can be uh, expressed in the writing form sometimes very much difficult to be visualized because it needs so many instruments, so many means, so many tools, and many, right? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And the limitation of the means, instruments, and others for producing the imaginative sense, imaginative visual sometimes could not be done because of the limitation of instruments, something like that. Okay, adaptation, right. Now, Wells, I would like to ask you directly the operation of the theory of adaptation here. Wells, how will you operate the theory of adaptation in the case of your study here? Yeah, of course, it can be found in your methodology of research. Right?
Okay.
Okay.
In the adaptation,
Yeah.
I think a first introduction explaining the background, the problem, reason of choosing the topic, research objective, and the relevance of adaptation theory in the context of homosexual issue, and then literature review discussing Linda Hudson's concept of adaptation,
Yes.
the adaptation of homosexuality representation in literature and movie, and reviewing relevant previous study, and then research methodology employing the qualitative approach with descriptive analysis. The primary data consists of the novel 8 and the film adaptations, analyzed through 3K accept of Hudson adaptation theory, that first mode of engagement,
Engagement.
sorry,
Yes.
how homosexual issues are present narratively and visually, and medium specificity is like the different in treatment between the textual medium and the novel and the audiovisual medium in the movie, and contextual and cultural shift. It's like how social context shifts influence the interpretation of homosexuality issue in the both medium. And fourth, like analyze and discussion comparing the representation of homosexuality in the novel and the film based on the three aspects of Hudson theory.
Okay, right. That's right.
Okay,
I think that must be perfectly done, in your research activity, right? Yeah. Because your job is only to prove, it's only to explore the adaptation from novel to
Movie.
film, just that, right? Yeah. And however, your method of job, of conducting your studying is merely based on the theory of adaptation as you proposed in this
Research.
proposal draft, right?
Yes, sir.
You would not exit from this theory, right? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. That's really very dangerous,
Okay, sir.
So just comprehend the concept of theory, the element of eight, and then just apply it, in the methodological research you do, to find out the data, in the novel and in the films, and then to find out the transformations, yeah, the novel like this and in the film like this, like that, yeah, and of course the changes of the performance from the writing forms to the visual form should be explored because that's very important. It is connected with the smart of ideas and then smart of creativity, and also, of course, it is considered by the most interesting entertainment as the works of visual performance in the film, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the detail of that should be done, right? Yeah. So once again, I remind you, suggest you, yeah, just comprehend the theory of adaptation as comprehensive as possible. And then don't exit from the concept of theory in the case of adapting or collecting data and analyzing data. Just that. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And then what are the underlying motives behind the adaptation? Okay, I think it's important, right? What will you do, yeah, in the case of answering the second research question, right? What will you do, yeah? What will you do in your research, yeah, in the case of answering this second research questions?
I think to know about what the direction decision and the differences between novels. So in the first time, maybe I capturing the dialogue in the movie, capturing, and then make comparison with the novel, with the original version, and then how it can change from the first time no homosexual issue, and then appear in that scene, something like that maybe.
Okay, well, it is very essential for you to understand and to be proved into your research job, right? Is motive, yeah, underlying motive. What would you do by this underlying motives, yeah, behind the adaptation? Motives, yeah. what could you explain to me about that?
Something implicit.
Yeah.
something
So
like that.
motives, right? Okay. What could you explain to me in the case of motives? In this
Like
case, right?
the reason of changes.
Right. Reason of changes, and then maybe that is a very unique thing. Yeah. You could shot, yeah. You could shoot, yeah, within both phenomena, yeah, and then novel, and then film, right? So behind the motives, yeah. So what it must be done, right? Yeah? So behind the motive, what must why it must be done? I mean, why it must be visualized, yeah, like that. Could you maybe now just give me a kind of assumption, right? Yeah? Why it must be transformed into the film, right?
Oh, I think why the novel is transformed into movie to make many more interest people to see the literature work from Stephen King. So maybe before it's like 1,000, but after remake into movies, so it's like a viral and many people can enjoy about their literary works.
Right. Yeah. So sometimes a person is very hard to read, yeah, but
Yes,
it is
sir.
very happy to see, right?
Yeah.
Now,
Yes.
so watching sometimes it is kind of
Have fun.
yes, yeah, it is kind of intellectual service sometimes, right?
Yes, sir.
Because sometimes it is very hard for a person to read, yeah. It will be very tired to read, yeah. But watching is much easier and much enjoyable.
Entertain.
Yeah, that's kind of motive, right? Yeah? So you must be able to academically explain. So not only explained as what you want, right? Yeah?
Okay, sir.
So you must be able to academically explain about that. The motive should be backgrounds, your good reason, better reasons, but should be referential, right? Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, well, I hope that your performance next will be more interesting than your performance today, right? Well, I think that's, yeah. So my question just now is such kind of hypothesis, right? So you should be able to explain the assumption, what you would like to do, what you would like to get, because it will guide you to walk into the lines of your research activity, right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
It's a pleasure, Mas Eko. So now, thank you, Mas Eko.
Yes.
So the first question is, how is the issue of homosexuality transformed into the adaptations of it, it or IT bacanya?
It, sir.
Or it from novel to films, okay. Okay, I'm not gonna repeat what Paiko has already been discussing with you, but I'm just asking, do you think you have read Theory of Adaptations?
Right?
You think you have read Theory of Adaptation?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what kind of concept you want to apply on this?
By Linda Hudson.
Yes, what kind of concept? Because we've got so many concepts, and you know, in the Theory of Adaptations, we've got three different perspectives. So from the author, the auteur, the sutradara, whatsoever, and then we've got the audiences, and then we have the text itself as a the product, like we compare about that. So if you take a look at chapter 1, we talk about what forms that the basic elements or the objects of the novel and the films, and then who, why is the adapters. Chapter 2, 3, and then chapter 4 is talking about the audience, and the chapter 5 is where and when, the context. And by reading those, I do believe that you can copy and then imitate or mimic one concept to apply why this issue, how it is transforming to the adaptations of it from novel to films. So, because in the references I found, you don't put Linda Hutchins, I believe.
Okay.
I believe you don't put it there. So that's why I'm beginning to be a bit suspicious if you understand the concept. You don't need to apply the whole concept. Let's say if you want to see and take a look at the perspectives of what are the underlying motive behind the adaptation of it in the novel and the films. Let's say you want to choose only on chapter 3, right? The adapters. Who is the adapters? Why adapt? There is economic lures or the legal constraint, cultural capitals, because that's going to be the point that you want to answer on your thesis. It's not going to be such bombastic review of the Linda Hutchins, I suppose. Just one or three concepts you want to apply, and then thus answering the questions. And indeed, you need to compare that, just like what Mas Eko said, that by comparing the text, and then the text and the films. So, which part you want to go in? In what way you want to go in? You want to go from the authors or the adapters, or you want to jump into the text?
I think I wanna use from the text from the.
Oh, I see.
But I think I'm interesting to form the adapters, because the adapters assume that the adapters gay too, so it can make a connect with the literature works that.
Okay, good. So you now know the gate to go for the first step to analyze the ideas, because if you go to chapter 3, why the adapters, who is the adapter, why adapt, and then you got a problem with the legal constraints. Let's say such homosexuality cannot be depicted in a very religious country, so that's why the distribution is supposed to be censored, and then this one's supposed to be, how do you call that? Milder. It's in some ways, right? Milder is lebih softer to do that, because you cannot possibly see two guys kissing on the films and being publicly displayed in the cinema, just like what we have in apa namanya itu film apa itu, Beauty and the Beast, the scene of Gaston and then satunya lagi itu anak anunya tadi itu, anak buahnya itu kan depictingnya gay, tapi kan disensor gitu. Itu sih. Jadi and you need to answer why sexuality is being apa namanya transformed into the adaptations. Okay, now we go with the basic. What do you think about? Could you give me a very brief explanations about adaptations. What do you know about adaptations?
Adaptation like
Can you give me your own understanding about adaptations? What is adaptation to you?
the process to search the differences about the different two source, and then to analyze about the motive or the reason and how it can change into other source into the new one, something like that maybe.
Okay. Thank you so much for giving me the definitions. But I do believe that you've already written the definitions on the chapter 2 and the adaptation theory. And then you write it beautifully here. The adaptations are simply mechanical replications. It's not a simply mechanical replication from one medium to another, but dialogic process that combines creative and interpretive elements. According to Hutchins, adaptation creates a space for variations, reinterpretations, and reflections upon the source materials, enriching our understanding of both the original and its interpretation. So it's not merely copying and pasting from one form to another, but adaptation is more likely that you can do variations. That's why you have some censorship, you have new plots, you have new settings, you have new ways of delivering the message of the original yet authentic novels, and then you have new reinterpretations for that. Just like what we have in the Sleeping Beauty. Sleeping Beauty is supposed to be the idea of the bad witch, ibu peri yang jahat itu ya, the ibu peri yang jahat. But if we take a look at the adaptation of Maleficent, it's a completely different story.
Yes.
That's what we call as a adaptations, because we have new sight, new perspective, and new way to look at the motive of why the Maleficent becomes furious and cursing the princess,
the daughter.
the daughter to sleep. That's what we call as adaptations. So it doesn't really to be faithful on the original text. Because if you do that, if you're very much, faithful, setia on the text, and then you copy it and put it on audiovisual, that's not what we call as adaptations. That's what we call as ekranisasi, what we call as ya hanya perubahan aja, only mimicking. But adaptation is completely different story. Kalau dalam film bisa reboot, remake, kayak gitu-gitu ya, itu form yang dalam teknis sekali. Jadi nggak harus setia pada teks. Nah, kenapa nggak setia pada teks? Itu yang menjadi hal penting yang harusnya dibahas di sini gitu loh, Cik. That's the thing, because your definition is not faithful to your writing here as well, okay? And then you don't tie on the references as well about Linda Hutchins. And please do mention just one or two key concepts that helped you to answer these two questions. It doesn't really have to be bombastic, like copying all the concept at one go. And then you have Roland Barthes as well.
Yes.
As a mode of communications. But if you were to compare it using Roland Barthes, how do you do that? Could you please possibly tell me? Why are you applying Roland Barthes? In what way it's gonna help? In what way it's gonna help you?
It's like I think for Linda Hudson.
No, I'm talking about Roland Barthes.
Yeah, I think Linda Hudson can't finish about the research problem, so I need a supporting theory from Barthes. That Barthes is oh my God, sorry.
So it cannot finish the
Mates like because it operates as unique system built upon existing semi-legal chain. Barthes described like a 3 dimension of meat and something like to make a to classify.
Yeah. So again, thank you so much. So I know Roland Barthes becomes more sufficient and efficient if you want to talk about the communicative process and what way they want to send a message. If this homosexuality being suppressed in the novel and then it is being amplified in the audio-visual object, okay? Then you want to see what kind of message they want to deliver, and then try to compare. yes, but it kind of limits your ideas of this thesis, not as adaptations, but only comparative studies. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
It is comparative studies, not adaptations. Because if you want to do that, you need to link those two differences by the concept on the
Adaptation.
adaptations. But the concept is, please be careful in differentiating the theory and concept. Theory is big one. Concept is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 different concept, and then you formulate it, then you operate it, just like what Maseko said. How do you operate 1, 2, 3, 4 concept, and then it becomes a theory. The merging of several concepts and one go, and then being operated is theory. So sometimes it is a bit problematic in using the word theory and concept as a synonymous, but it actually doesn't work that way. So that's the thing. Okay, so please be careful. First, it is yes, I agree that you need to talk about sexuality, but please do tell me the very first step, the differences, and then what kind of a perspective you want to choose. Okay, based on Linda Hutchins, you can see on the book, and then if you want to compare the mode of communications by using Roland Barthes, what kind of a myth they want to produce, ya kan? Then you need to know why those are, let's say, censored or limited or being amplified in one certain situations. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Gitu. Itu aja sih. But it is very beautiful that you want to know about homosexuality. I don't even notice the homosexuality in it. Maybe I don't really watch it. The
movie.
I don't really watch the movie in a very meticulous manner. Like I don't really pay attention on the films. But if you can spot the homosexuality, is good. It's good. But you don't use any. Please do not add more theories because it's gonna be problematic ya.
Yes, sir.
Sebenarnya satu aja Linda Hutchins oke, tapi kalau misalnya kamu memang harus ditambahin lambat is oke. Takutnya nanti ditambahin lagi sama teori LGBT. Tambah mumet kamu nanti gitu loh.
Yes,
nanti you have one ticket but you want to go in 3 different events. Okay, but you actually only have one motive. Nah, nomor 2 ini nanti tolong diganti ya. What are the motive behind the adaptation of it in the novel ini? Harusnya nge-link sama homosexuality nggak sih? What are the motives of homosexuality gitu atau apa? What are the kalau motif behind the adaptation of it ini kan nggak nyambung sama homosexuality. Kamu kan cuma ngecem homosexuality aja kan?
Yes, sir.
Bukan keseluruhannya. Jadi itu mungkin harus nomor 2 tuh gimana caranya tambahin seksual. Menurut saya Mas Eko ya. What are the homosexuality underlying motive behind the adaptation of it in the novel gitu loh.
Oh, yes, sir.
What are the homosexuality underlying motive behind the adaptation of it in the novel and it in the film tetap.
That much better.
Jadi ini kan sudah spesifik, ini kan becomes more broader kan?
Yes, sir.
Kan isu yang kamu ambil kan homoseksualitinya aja dalam film itu kan?
Yes, sir.
Bukan keseluruhan, ini kan broad lagi gitu loh. Gitu. Adegan yang itu aja atau babakan yang itu aja, ya sudah itu aja. Stick to the scene atau stick to the that part only aja. Jangan dibikin broad lagi.
Yes, sir.
Karena judulmu juga sexuality, homosexual issues itu tadi. Menurut saya sih itu. Nomor 2 itu nanti membantumu menjebak kamu jadi broad lagi gitu loh. Jadi general lagi.
Jadi connect sama yang pertama.
Betul. How is the issue? Kan kamu mungkin ini pertama compare ya, kan udah kelang apa compare. Dapat lead-nya, yang kedua ini nanti kamu applying yang didahacin konsep yang mana, tempelin aja. Gitu. Mungkin legal constraint ya, saya nggak ngerti kamu pakai yang mana. Kan banyak gitu. Di judulnya aja, di introduction-nya aja, di di contents-nya aja itu udah kelihatan kok di bukunya itu. Ya kan?
Iya.
Ada showing, not telling gitu, who is the economic lures, ada the legal constraint, personal and political motives ya kan? Ada itu. Masukin aja itu konsep udah itu situ, masukin. The pleasure of adaptations, modes of engagement gitu, kinds of decreased immersion, nah itu indigenization, lokalisasi ini dengan pelokalan gitu. Banyak banget konsepnya. Pilih satu aja.
Oh, yes, sir.
pelokalan gitu. Misalnya kalau homo dalam konsep luar negeri gay. Kalau di konsep Indonesia bukan gay tapi apa misalnya?
Putih.
Boti bisa, itu kan lokalisasi kan itu kan. Atau dalam konteks yang lebih kultural lagi, misalnya kalau settingnya adalah di teman-teman Bugis misalnya, jadi calala-calaba, ya, atau pelokalan-pelokalan lain yang modelnya lebih bisa berterima bagi
Masyarakat.
begitu. Itu hal yang dilakukan yang indigenisasi itu, lokalisasi, pelokalan gitu. Gitu sih. Semoga nanti lebih bagus ya.
Yes, sir.
Seperti yang diharapkan oleh Mas Eko juga gitu. Mohon maaf saya jadi agak banyak tapi tadi pesannya Mas Eko juga seperti itu. Oke, thank you.
Thank you, sir. I will memperbaiki my research proposal, fix it my proposal. Thank you for the critics and saran. Thank you so much and for attaining in this room. Thank you so much.
And well, I
yes,
just,
sir.
Would like to give you remind you about it.
Okay, sir.
You must be surely of applying Roland Barthes theory, right? Yeah, about meat. Yeah. And actually, it is needed to find out the ideology from the Barthes theory, and then you must be able to make sure, whoever, right, that the theory of Roland Barthes here is needed for the study of the adaptation of this study, right? Yeah, so you must be sure that to deepen, to explore, the essence of your study, seriously need this Roland Barthes theory, right? Because sometimes someone will misunderstanding because path related to semantic study, right? So why use that? You must be able to make sure that in the case of the performance of the adaptation here, in one side need this theory, for example, like that. Yeah,
Yes,
you must
sir.
be careful about that.
Okay, sir.
And I remind you that you must follow what Ganesh advised. So please focus on your study and just focus on the theory of adaptation and maybe very, very, very important theory that helpful for your study. Don't widen to broaden
Yes, sir.
to other view. Yeah, right. Okay.
Okay, sir.
And well, I think you must prepare the way of writing the research like that.
Yes, sir.
I think it is also important. Sometimes it will be debatable sometimes.
Yes, sir. I know.
And you should really put the difference.
The difference,
Write
yes.
down here, and you need here. You should put here, right?
Okay, sir.
Because now it is criticized by you apply a theory of adaptation, but nothing of reference here, right? It was special,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I know.
right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, thanks.
Okay.
Okay, I think it is not necessary for us to discuss about that. Oh, is it necessary? No.
I'm just following you by.
I know. I think it's better for us to close this forum and let her to visit cafe, canteen. Okay, right. Thanks. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations ya Jay.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations.
Let's
Thank you,
do
sir.
the revisions and
Yes.
then we meet again soon.
Yes,
how
sir.
How long is soon? It depends on you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really, it's 1 month. Not for that.
Okay, sir.
How long is soon? Depends on you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
See you. Have a nice day.